Hello, Virgo. This is your timeless love variant reading. Please bear in mind that these messages may hit home if Virgo is found in your sun rising and or Jupiter position. If you're here because Virgo is found in your moon placement, please take note that these messages may not hit home as much. What you may be seeking is emotional redemption. And in that regard, please check out my description box below where you will find a link to my second channel where you may find content over there that may interest you. With that being said, what's the purpose of 𝗖𝘀𝗵𝗔𝗽𝗽 energy is to understand universal justice of why things are the way they are. So please bear in mind, I am a master healer, so feel free again to check out the description box below if you would like to book a tarot service of any kind, or also inquiring about a remote healing session and all that jazz. Please know that past, present, and or future energetical timelines could come forth of vibrancy within and throughout the reading, so use your discernment to take all of that which belongs to you and to naturally leave the rest behind. Love variant is exactly what is in the name. Whatever wants to come up will come up, whether it's 1-to-1, 2-to-1, 3, divorce, marriage, I don't know. Everything kind of happens to want to come through if it wants to come through. Whatever happens to be the reason as to why you are here, there's something that may be here for you. But yeah, I mean, Virgo. Let's go into your reading, shall we? I'm getting mental exhaustion. All right, mental exhaustion. I'm hearing overworking. The priest, perseverance, faith. The chiromancer, delivering news, collaboration. Wow, all hands on deck for this one. I mean, someone might be literally working with a community of people that are esoteric, that read energy, dabble in cards, all that, and all that jazz. We have the storyteller, viewpoints, control, and the patron. Mentorship and finances. I mean, someone took a path and was kind of cut short taking that path. They felt like they felt like they had something, an obstacle, right? Like they had an answer to an obstacle that they were facing, and now it's kind of like quicksand, kind of like getting out of their hands. You see a lot of hands here, all right? So a lot of working with hands. I'm seeing someone do sign language, esoteric in sign language, wanting to just speaking in hands is very important for this energy. There's a lot of energy wanting to come forth. That's why I'm stumbling a lot here. A lot of needing to slow down time and wanting, however, at the same time, wanting to get the message across. So slowing down time and wanting to get the message across is something that was very important to someone's higher self here. I know this is a love variant reading, all right? I'm well aware of what the title is, but what wants to come up is it's like love with self. Of course, it is more of like a lot of people want kind of when a partner is coming, who is this coming, who's that? Things are being crossed off right now. I'm seeing a big like dead end. Enough. Like there's someone dabbling way too much into tarot and having a community of niches of people that read cards and getting together in their living room, having a drink, a glass of wine, like these social gatherings that are happening that, yes, I'm putting a spotlight on them to make sure that you understand this is the shadow wanting to address itself for the listener, whomever is resonating with this message. The individual that you are is beyond time and space. So to slow down time is to be very involved with a sense of purpose at this time. And the sense of purpose is coming through with a massive load of needing to get everything in the right order and having the message be delivered succinctly and on time, whatever that means, and being able to understand what energies are being manipulated while everyone is being kind of like kids at the school block in a schoolyard trying to understand all these energies. Your higher selves, who are like in this niche of group of community, actually don't like each other. There is a weird higher self war happening with individuals who see themselves partake in some sort of social engagement of even as quote unquote small as friendship or even as big as communal, to gather and make sense of an energy. But the higher selves are chaotic at this time because they don't want you, the vessel of the higher body, of the higher self, to one, not understand the message of your own destiny and your own purpose, to not be afraid to sit with energies on your own. If it means also sitting with the Ouija board on your own and not having to mesh with another person, another energies, because you don't know. There are a lot of individuals in this reading, whenever the fuck you're listening to this message, and this is getting very serious here, pardon me, but there is an absolute need to stop what the fuck you're doing. Whatever the fuck you're doing, you need to stop right now, Virgo. Wheel it back and be understanding that the priest, the chiromancer, the storyteller, the patron is all you. And getting pushed and pulled by a community of people that need you is okay, but not at the expense of losing control of who you are. By meaning showing up to work, rather saying that day I'm actually playing and people are watching me play. If you're going to do something and it shows quality of work, and it doesn't make you feel like play, then someone's draining you. Period. You may be so involved though that you think that it's just a normal routine of just being busy, and maybe getting a lot more lapses of being exhausted. But please understand that this message might be a little bit redundant for someone, but you may not have heard the following words. If you're a galactic light reader, you will never get tired. Even if you explore darkness as a light reader, you are not someone who will understand what it means to feel the need to sleep, because the need to sleep is vacant when you're a high vibrational galactic light being. So understand that when you take up non-traditional tarot, and I say non-traditional as I hit traditional because I changed the tarot in this channel and my other channel and anything that belongs to seventh and beyond, that is a different depiction than you will ever find. And that depiction is going to help alter what you don't know. No, you do not know. Most likely you do not know what the depiction is of my tarot deck. But whatever it is, it's proof that there is an ether out there that can be tapped into. That if you think you're an expert in what you're doing now, strap on your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen, all those in between and beyond. The galaxy around you and what you're tapping into, if you're tapping into cards, is going to riddle up some motherfuckers around here. And this is not to trigger fear. This is to trigger justice. Because if you want to go, open up the books here and study yourself and study love and partnership and study the various ways we can understand the fundamental understanding if conditional love is unconditional, or if unconditional love is conditional, is to just see the blueprint of reality that we're left with. But some of you aren't even triggered by your third eye. you're more or less triggered by the thought of fearing what the third eye of power could actually mean to the existence of this life. That's someone's fear. But they didn't know that was their fear, because all they're being distracted in doing is still showing up, Virgo, as a service-oriented person for other individuals. You don't understand that just yet. Just yet. There is a power that rules through you, Virgo, with galactic light being Virgo energy, male or female. Though I don't give a shit. We can argue around days, all right? Galactic light is Virgo energy, in that it affects every single person, every crevice of their being. You will be tried and you will be tested on how well you know your shadow, ladies and gentlemen, in all those in between and beyond, because you are afraid. You are trying to practice and pray away the bad things, and it will just not happen. So whoever is here that didn't realize what they were listening to, I will remind you, what you may be seeking is emotional redemption. And emotional redemption is a different journey than being on a path of universal justice. Understanding the message will understand better than what will happen. These words are a mess. All right, but from here on out, from this reading right now till the end, this is the love reading. All right, so let's see what else Ether got for the Virgo love variant. Someone's paying too much attention to astrological charts and all the... I get it. Listen, I get it. I'm not shitting on nobody's, like, career path, enthusiasm, scavenger hunt, charisma, personality trait, curiosity. Whatever moves your sense of smell and vision, go chase it, all right? But the problem that I'm having is that some individuals are not taking a bite and chewing it up, swallowing it, and having a sense of taste buds with what it is that you're doing. And then making that maturation process happen from the moment you swallow it to the moment it becomes completely digested, and then the waiting period of how much bullshit you have to actually shit out. All right? There's a lot of, like, throwing things to the fire and expecting Ether to just do the work for you, when it's just not going to happen that way, because now universal justice galactic light is much faster, okay? Much faster. You almost can't really close your eyes and blink fast enough before karma comes and hits you in the ass a little bit, and you knowing that it was because of something that your intuition is giving you a little bit of a warning sign in. All right, that time of waiting 30 years for karma to come back is not necessarily going to work out so well for those individuals who think that they can get away with murder. All right, murdering the ego, murdering vulnerability, actually physically murdering individuals. You will not get away, because the ether is getting louder and louder and louder and louder. And as the ether higher vibrations get higher, so are the individuals walking on its earth. So as those individuals are reaching those conscientious love of light, ladies and gentlemen, you'll have better understanding what kind of love you're actually looking for when you're saying you don't know what it is that you're looking for. Do you see the point here? There are a lot of niches of where a lot of people get lost in love readings of tarot and have a lot of expectations put on the other individual as to what will happen with you, the listener. That expectation is way too high. It's way too high to think and imagine that the other thing that you're listening for and listening out for is going to move in the benefit for you. All right, so decisions, Two of Pentacles, all right? Making choices more wisely. With the Father of Cups energy, being compassionate always, all right? But that had nothing to do with being able to make and draw decisions. This is more or less people are being afraid of making certain choices because they don't necessarily understand their feelings. Yep, look at that, the Fool. I'm not saying that you're an idiot. I'm saying that you do not yet know the right verbiage of how you feel. Is that okay? Yes, absolutely. Because Ether wants you to be an expression of that which it is that you are. And what needs to happen is chiseling, disciplining, not cutting, like polishing who you are. And for that, we do have other individuals around us that help us. We either have pets, we have reality, we have dreams and imagination, we have children, we have siblings, we have parents, we have grandparents, we have adopted siblings, adopted family members, all right? And you can be biological and non-biological, understand the terminology of being aware of another being, and then taking that other being for face value of who and what they are for any kind of possible insight or guidance they can offer you. In that generosity of kinship, of likeness that it can be found in certain day-to-day basis of your everyday life, that's an ideal version of showing you that there are truth factors in making risk factors of small things. That was a doozy, but the risk factor of small things is to understand that if you have a slithering of a hope, that slit of hope can get bigger if you just allow your focus to get on it, all right? So if you feel nice about picking up your cup of coffee at this coffee shop every day, right? There's a certain ritual that you like about it. Now imagine taking that light, focusing on that, and the slit of hope that you have just in having it from that cafe can extend to the gas station, can extend to the, I don't know if you travel, wherever you're going, all right? And that will help shape a better understanding, Virgo, what it is that you can finesse about those choices that you are already so conscientious of making, quote unquote, correct. All right, you're very careful. But you're also sloppy, and that's why the first message came out the way it did. You're indecisive, but that indecision has something to do with being dependent and codependent on other energy, Virgo. Has nothing to do with you. And the more I tell you this, and the more I snap you into Virgo energy, you'll understand, Virgo, what are you doing? The sole responsibility of where you're taking in the message, that belongs to you. What you breathe out as bullshit belongs to anyone else because it makes you feel a little queasy inside. That's somebody else is doing onto you, and your body is protecting you from that energy and telling you, don't fuck with that anymore. Because I see the narrative, y'all still want to go back to your fucking exes. New chance. Reinvigorating. I don't know what the hell, but it's a strong energy coming through here of saying, woohoo. Some of y'all have watched the narratives Mercury retrograde, and let me tell you, once you get done with that narrative and that timeline, you're like, Mercury retrograde, who? And Mercury retrograde, what? It's fascinating how many bubbles of toxicity can happen when you become more and more cognizant of what pockets of hypocrisy and obsession people can have over a narrative. Because within that narrative, the only reality is all the participants of the narrative. To make it your own story, you have to be individualistic, a bit more sovereign, and not look for the narrative, because the narrative of yours will not be found anywhere. Do you hear me, Virgo? Some of you are like, where the fuck am I supposed to go? You're supposed to go exactly where you are. Everything that you know and everything that you desire to know is right here and right now. Look at that. What did I say? A lot of fire, Aries energy, masculine energy wanting to come through here and dictate some shit. All right, and good luck to this energy, because this energy is about to like, I'm hearing break. All right, it's about to break. What is going to break is almost going to break somebody into an epiphany here, and that epiphany is going to be like, oh shit, I did have all this power, all this time, And then meanwhile, where you are is thinking it belongs to someone else. And Virgo, for God's sakes, it's you. All right? It's you. It's you. It's you, Virgo. Virgity Virg from Val 33 Tarot, right? She always says that. Virgity Virgs. Oh, man. Chaos of the mind. Give me 1 second. I gotta pick up half of the deck. Ay. Like I may have mentioned it before, not in this reading, but another reading, the higher souls, man. There's a war of consciousness happening to the little minions of human species on this planet we call Earth. And people are just not getting it. They're not getting it. And the only way we can invigorate something to potentially be true is to make that shit rock from the inside out. Some of you are crying out for love. It's ridiculous how much you're crying out for love. And you're not seeing the potentiality of the love vibrating through you. I've been there, all right? And that shit took me, I'm not even going to talk about where it all took me, all right? But right now I'm here. And this here is defined in seeing the misery that's over there. And over there, it doesn't look so good. But there's a good story happening over there. A good motherfucking story, ladies and gentlemen. And it always makes a good dramatic appeal. And that drama people love because it gets people into a place of entertainment. All right? 3 of Wands. At entertainment, 3 of Wands. So, this meeting. There is a meeting happening for someone here. But what is more of like meeting of the minds here, this is giving me with the 3 of Wands here, this is giving me this bandage, like things are coming together. So, here's a doozy. Some of y'all made up with your exes and decided to go on victoriously forward. And whatever victoriously forward means is that it's going into trajectory of wherever the hell you want it to go because both of you consented to that. And now what you're rocking through is basically sitting first row seat on a roller coaster ride and ticking your way all the way up. Slowly and slowly and slowly and slowly and slowly until the roller coaster goes off. I understand this seems fine and things in your heart seem fine. And we're not necessarily saying it's wrong because wrongness and goodness is a term for the muggles or the muggles or the minions. We don't care about good or bad. We have to find out why the chickly is a chickly. So whatever makes you grow and flow and dive and swim as a birdie, as a whatever, as a galactic light being, Virgo, you have all the blessing that you need. But if you move forward in the calendar of time, and your brain has a brain injury of too many negative thoughts, then it makes be of best interest to pay attention to your goddamn shadows. Because your shadows are going to, they're just going to, okay? And what they're going to do, they're going to make themselves aware. They have as much right to be existing as light. And I'm addressing for all you over there that go into the pocket of the mind that is the moment I say the word shadow, that you address it with fear. We need to tackle that because your shadow is a terminology for you to become triggered human, that there is a problem, and the problem being you. Whether you are the problem that gave yourself the problem or not, that is also not important. Because getting there, there's nothing that you can do about being who you are. What has to happen is the universal justice and not being a threat to those of you that you cross or the ones that cross you, to become aware of predators. And if you feel that you're predatorial, to tame thyself and find prey that can satisfy your needs with universal justice in mind. Because let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, someone's thinking dark over there, and whatever it is that you may be thinking, they can come to light if you bring too much attention to that area and ask for it to be made aware of. Someone's searching for permission, and the higher you go, tick, 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 the more you're going to get penalized for seeing in the absence of not being able to see. This is a convoluted mess of a reading, Virgo, but I have a feeling some of y'all motherfucking get it, all right? It is way beyond whatever relationship you think you have, because I see that some of you are still having a hard time finding a sense of relationship with yourself. A lot of chatting, Virgo, a lot of chatty energy. A lot of guides around you are very eager to speak with you, to penalize you, to correct your behavior, to guide you. Pardon me. I mean, they're hungry, all right? They're hungry. I don't eat a lot with my readings. I usually don't want to do that while I'm recording. And sometimes this shit is just wild. That, you know, the best way we can do is to tame the goddess of darkness is to eat. There's a metamorphosis happening with you, Virgo. Beginning and end here so far as both a butterfly. You may have felt that I was talking a lot about dark things. Maybe too far off, too deep. Maybe didn't have to go there. Because none of the things that you actually see in your actual life, in your four walls that you've built around you, may be as loud as I'm trying to make them. However, that is also not the case. If you feel in your heart of hearts that you resonate with something, even if it just sounds good, or it sounds about quote unquote right, it's a frequency of a message, and the message can be tapped in and out of whenever you choose to. It's just like tapping into and out of the usage of certain derogatory terms that you say in the absence of your parents, but in the presence of friends. It's the audacity to know better one moment and to neglect your 1 second before and doing in another moment. The hypocrisy of saying one thing, causing rules and regulations and laws and policies and mandates for one thing, and going home and breaking all of them. There has to be eyes. There has to be something that rules the overall ruling of the fairness of doing something like that. And these echelons of time, from partnerships to engaging in the wrong conversations, to engaging with wrong family members, Virgo, to engage with energies that just do not mesh with you. Would be idiotic. It would be even more idiotic, as I'm hearing, to mesh with energies that you know you don't mesh with. Wait a minute. Like I feel someone here has power and wants, so like they're super intelligent and However, thinking that just because they understand that energy of whatever they're exploring, ether is really not going to permit them from engaging in their power. It's one thing to kind of like tell a child that they can have this box of 24 crayons and say, go paint. And another thing to tell them specifically, you can only paint here. It's kind of like what ether is doing with an individual that has a lot of thinking power. All right. Yes, Virgo, that's still you somewhere out there. Either way, this thinking process is a metamorphosis for you. And this metamorphosis is designed to help you actually get deeper into things, Virgo. Because, I mean, you do like it that way, all right? You do like intimacy in ways that when it reaches a level of euphoria that grants you access to something that you've never felt before, maybe it makes you feel almost at loss for not having that had that before. But the interesting part about this type of energy is that you also don't want it to come back. It's weird. It's like someone like, now it's getting a little messy. It's too much. It's too much shit here. So we have some energies here that decided to take back their ex, all right? And we can even go as far as taking back an ex-husband, all right? Because this was a ceremony of some kind of something anticipatory. And because it chiseled at the spirits of a Virgo, it seemed like fantasyism and seemed like like a load of sensory and romance and charm and ooh and gaga and just a whole lot of like almost making out energy, right? The problem with it is that it's a bit too sloppy and it's too predatorial rather than it's of mate. And having the soul compartment be part of that. You get it? You get the word that I'm coming around? Like soulmate, you know, there's mate and then you have soul and you have soul and you have me. And then some people put that together and they say soulmate. So some of you are questioning whether you are in your soulmate, if this is a soulmate, you are. And they do say soulmate relationships comes with shit. But that's every relationship. Because we saw you're having a hard time having a relationship with ourselves, okay? So the moment we choose to have a partner in life, we just introduce the third party to who we're trying to figure out in ourselves when we're looking in the mirror, all right? The third party is our one loyal, devoted person that we're taking our time with. It's just throwing us off. And then when the other person has no idea what the fuck is going on, we make them pretend that there's something going on because we can just trigger that within them, right? Virgo, you know how to play the game of tactic, and the tactic isn't about looking to trigger. It is about understanding what can be triggered by you and then being there as a witness and sole proprietor and ownership and holding yourself accountable for being the one having triggered something. I hope this makes sense for someone. I mean, at least one person. All I need is one. All I need is one. That's brought that messes. So look at that. 7 of Cups, 5 of Cups. I mean, what am I saying? 7 of Cups, 10 of Cups, and 5 of Pentacles. Right? Like I said, there was a beginning. I did say there was a break. All right, whatever feels luscious and whatever feels delicious and whatever, that's like almost like a false flag. All right, a red flag here with a rose. You feel gaslit. You feel completely left alone. You feel like someone is leaving you out in the trenches, but you thought you had something because this person came in hot and heavy again. Like, I just say next, right? And I feel like the page of, or the Knight of Swords right there is that person coming in and talking mad shit. And it's trauma-based because this person that's coming in, Virgo, is saying, I got the answer, I got the clue. I got what it takes, honey bunny. It's me. It's me. Justice, Ten of Pentacles, Universal Justice. I told you Universal Justice. Three of Pentacles. Once again, I feel like too many hands in the bag here, but Seven of Cups here again. And the King of Pentacles. Will it be victorious? It's kind of hard to tell with the Seven of Cups right in front of the King of Pentacles and me immediately being drawn to your eyes being closed here with the King of Pentacles, Virgo, because there's still some examining having to do with the drawing board. Yeah, you're not going to get the answers here that you're looking for. Not in this reading. I feel like you just wasted 35 minutes of my life. Let me see where I'm going here. Nine of Cups, Four of Wands. Oh man, we're working ass backwards with you, Virgo, right now. All right, Nine of Cups. You went thinking a long time ago that what you have right now is worth everything that you've ever could have imagined, which is true to all the extents that your imagination is setting for yourself. But then why are you here? Because there's a part of you, of your ego, that is so fucking loud with the King of Wands that you're questioning, in a way, what kind of choices you've been making here. And it's because you still have some closures to be sealed up and get ready to go, and that is up to you, because I'm not taking this reading any further besides where I'm going right now. Six of Cups, wanting to reconcile with not only a version of who you are, but again, that's almost giving me that energy of like, all right, well, maybe you have to go back to the drawing board because you keep fucking with your ex, Virgo, and I don't know what injured mind you came from. And no disrespect for it to be injured. We're all injured in one way or another. No one's perfect, all right? But X marks the spot. X, you gotta go. Adios. Why are they coming back into the door? All right. Shadow work is addressing difficult things in life. Hello, shadow. Oh, You emotional redemption, ladies and gentlemen, requires you to look at your goddamn shadow. Shadow work is addressing difficult things in life. Right? I said it before. It's not moving on, I fear. It's time. It's an inhalation process. All right. Not all travel through all dimensions. Not all travel through all dimensions. You gotta let things go. Because some of the exes, they gotta go. You gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta go. Virgo, what are you doing? All right, we're done. We're done here, Virgo. It was a pleasure, as always. If you like any of my services, please check out that description box below and how to book a tarot reading and how to book a remote healing session, or just inquiring about what it is, all right? I'm looking forward to making your acquaintance. I'm wishing you a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are in the ether of this time and space. Toodles.